Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Binman. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and give this video a thumbs up because today is all about Iris Apfel and her iconic beauty look. If you don't know who Iris Apfel is, she recently passed away and she was a force in the fashion, style, and interior design industry, so stay tuned. I've already washed my face and done my skincare, so let's get started with the tutorial. First, we are going to be neutralizing the skin using the Corrector for underneath our eyes, just taking a little bit with our ring finger and gently tapping. Iris Apfel's makeup is very simple and yet impactful, and I feel like those phrases, those words are very important this year in 2024. It feels like we are trying to simplify everything from makeup to clothing with a twist, with always an interesting and impactful twist. So just getting rid of any discoloration underneath the eyes, and I am really just very lightly tapping my skin. Now we're going to use the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base on the eyelids, also using a ring finger. Make sure that you have some kind of a towel nearby that you don't mind getting a little bit of makeup on, because it is a tool as well as your brushes and the actual makeup to be using during a makeup application, especially if you're using your fingers. You want to make sure that you're wiping those down and not just doing that, because then you're just smudging the makeup all over your hands and you're not really cleaning them. Now I'm going to tightline with one of Lisa Eldridge's seamless eye pencils, and this is in Cinder Smoke. I don't have a black, so I would absolutely use a black if I had a black. And now we are ready to start doing complexion, because we are going to save our concealer until later just to lift the eyes, especially because Iris was wearing glasses for most of the time that I was aware of her, and I would definitely save concealer for a little bit later. So just dotting the cheek or anywhere where you have a little bit of discoloration and then blending out after you do your initial bounce. Remember, bouncing gives you more coverage. This kind of a motion gives you less coverage and it blends out those edges. So if you're feeling like you're having a really good skin day, then I say go for it. Just paint your face instead of bouncing your brush, because bouncing your brush is going to give you more pigment wherever you're bouncing it, but you might not need it. It all depends on what's going on with you and your skin and life. I personally like big brushes, so I'm not afraid to use a big brush in a small place. If I was working on a client, I would probably switch to a smaller brush. Now we are ready to do the eyes. Her eye makeup is very minimal. Usually I'm seeing pictures of her with blue eyeshadow. I don't have a blue. I'm going off of a few magazine shoots that I've seen with her where her eye makeup is a little bit more on the neutral side, but of course she has her iconic red lip. So it is definitely a red lip look. We're just going to be adding in a few MAC shadows. So we're going to be mixing Kitten Cork into the crease, and I'm going to start with my 201. I'm just going to go in with Kid for now and see where that takes us, but this is a classic shade for fairer skin types. It's so good. It just mimics a natural shadow, and with a really fluffy brush, the brush is really doing all the work for you. I'm just finding that socket, and then I'm lightly doing windshield wiper motions and making sure that I'm getting a little bit of definition right there. Same thing on the other side. Starting on the inner corner, working my way up into the socket, and then blending out from there. Going between doing little circles and windshield wiper motions, I've always found works the best. So I'm going to switch to a 217, go into a little bit of Cork. I can always take it down with some Kid if I need to. Cork is just a little bit warmer. Kid runs slightly pink. Cork has a little bit more warmth to it, but not a ton. These are super, super natural, neutral shades. But as you can see, it just gives you a little bit of very natural definition and very natural shading around the eye area. So this is really great for photos. It's really great for every day. Yes, you will look like an enhanced version of yourself, but it's not going to be like, wow, your makeup, ooh. It's going to be more like, you look really good today. And always making sure that we are relaxing our eyes at some point so that when our eyes are open naturally and we don't have surprise expression, that you can actually see what you've done that morning. Because some days our eyes can be a little bit droopier than other days. And some days we just don't have that surprise expression. And that's all okay. I'm going to take my 217 and rather than on the tip of my brush, on the side of my brush, I'm going to bring that onto the lid. Because when I'm looking at pictures of Iris, she really did kind of take up her whole lid area with either blue or some kind of gray if she was like at a magazine shoot. So we're not really opening up the eye. Because she's wearing glasses, I'm assuming because she was older, when you put your glasses on, sometimes it's nice to really have a little bit more definition. Now these glasses are blue light glasses, so they do have a little bit of a tint to the actual lens. It's not going to be crystal clear like a regular glass, but I don't wear glasses, so this is what I have. Then I'm going to take a pencil brush into Swiss Chocolate and just darken the outer parts of the eyes a little bit. She would absolutely do this quite a bit, again with either a deeper blue or going in again with the blue just to add a little bit of a lift. We're not doing a liner today. She didn't do a liner, so we have to lift the eye in a different way. So I'm just brushing off my 217 and then I'm going to soften that a little bit. So again, bringing it onto that lid, adding almost a kitten wing and bringing it up into the socket, into the crease, just for a little bit of definition, a little bit more definition, and a little bit more of a lift. I'm sure at some point it becomes really, really difficult to do your liner. So switching to a shadow and doing it a little bit darker, almost like you're doing your liner, is a great way to lift the eyes if you no longer can do a liner. We're going to amp up our lashes while we can. So we're going to go in with Dior. If you have lashes, if you can, I always think when you're wearing glasses, it's a great idea to really go for it with the mascara, because that's the big thing that is separating your eye from the rest of you. So even if you did less eye makeup and you wanted to just really amp up your lash line, that is a great way to still be seen through your lenses. Then I'm going to go in with Lisa Eldridge's Kitten mascara. It is the softest, most flexible mascara I think I've ever tried. It's really lovely. And I'm just rolling the wand like I normally would, getting right into the roots. You can always blink through if you need to, but this is a great one for lengthening. So we got the volume or the buildup with the primer, and now we can go in with more of a lengthening mascara. So now we are ready to finish up the complexion with our concealer. I've really been liking taking it on my finger, just kind of rolling that on my ring finger, splitting it to make sure that I'm not getting too much, doing my little taps, and then I can go back in with a brush. But I find that putting it on with my finger, it just helps me to control the amount of concealer I'm putting on, because I don't necessarily need or want a ton of concealer right there. So I'm going to go in with my Fluffy 57 and just very lightly, very delicately start to blend that out. Blend out the edges, leaving a majority of the product where I need it, which is right here, and then just kind of blending out the edges. I can always go back in with my fingers if I feel like there's still a little bit too much, because rolling the product on your finger actually gives you quite a bit. You should not be double dipping into, at least into the Luminous silk, because there's quite a bit on the actual wand. Now we are ready for powder and adding in our cheek and everything else. So going in with a 108 into my Ambient lighting powder. This is a great one for more mature skin. It just gives the essence of skin, but it takes down any shine as well. You might have to bring this one with you throughout the day if you feel like you do get a little bit more shine, but I just love how skin-like it looks. It leaves the skin alone. It doesn't mattify it. Going in with the Pixie blush, and you can absolutely just stripe it on like that and then blend out with your fingers just for a little bit of a pink. Might go back in once we get the red lip on with our foundation brush just to make sure that it's not too pinky. We definitely don't want too much of a pink cheek and a red lip. So now I'm going to go in with Palazzo. I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to do my liner and go in with a gloss. I'm going to make sure that everything stays in place with Duchess liner from Lisa Eldridge. So I always like to start at the top. And I don't want it to be too perfect. A too perfect red lip doesn't make any sense in real life. So definitely going to be smushing my lips together and just kind of fiddling with my finger a little bit. That feels a little bit more lived in. So now we're going to go in with Cinnabar, and this is my favorite combination for a red lip with Lisa's products. It's Palazzo, it's the Duchess pencil, and then finishing off with Cinnabar. Cinnabar just gives a little bit more depth to an otherwise very retro red. We're going to finish off with our big bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury, and then we're going to reassess and see if we need to balance anything out. Iris didn't wear a ton of bronzer, it looked like. She probably just didn't have the time or the patience for it. So we're not going to spend a ton of time. But she was pretty chiseled. Her face was pretty chiseled. So just kind of getting that look a little bit. She always looks so healthy and just ready to take on the world. And I'm definitely feeling like the cheek works. So we're going to pop on our glasses and call it good. Thank you so much for watching this Iris Apfel inspired tutorial. She was a force in the interior design industry, in the fashion industry, and absolutely in the styling industry. She really wanted everyone to be happy and be happy as themselves, which I absolutely loved. She didn't want a bunch of copycats running around. She wanted to see individuality. So I just wanted to do a makeup tutorial to honor her and her wonderful spirit of style and fashion. I do fashion videos every Wednesday, beauty videos every Friday. Make sure you are following me on Shorts and Instagram for more tips and tricks to make your life a little bit easier and a little bit more glossy, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye!